Good morning, everybody. Here we are. We're live with Miss Renee. And she's pretty cheeky this morning. Not really sure why that is. I think it's because she took no time at all for herself on the weekend. But let's ask her, shall we? Good morning, Renee.
Good morning, Vicki. You are correct. This weekend, no time for myself because
are you feeling really, really pleased with yourself, or are you feeling like a control freak?
A little bit like a control freak. I think it's difficult to try and get onto this retirement stage.
You think? We were talking a few minutes ago about these stories about whether or not you can get your husband to do certain things. And years ago, he tried to outweight me cooking. I go, no. Well, what happened is we were both out fencing, and I'm out there with him. And of course, for some reason, we get hung with this job. I guess it's because we do it when we've got kids, right? So we got no kids anymore. We come in the house, and he plunks himself down on the couch. And I thought, oh, here we go. So I go plunk myself down on the couch. In about half an hour, he says, what are we having for supper? I said, I don't know. God, I'm tired. Yep, so am I. Aren't you cooking supper? I said, no. Are you? Well, no. I said, oh, what are we going to do? So we went out for supper. So this happened several times, and eventually it dawned on him that if he didn't cook supper, we weren't getting supper. So he cooked. And I tell all my friends, I know how to train the horse. Got to be smarter than the horse.
Well, see, I've always cooked. Always. And I love cooking, cleaning, and yeah, I'm a little bit of a neat freak.
No.
I'm a little bit less than I used to be, but I still am. So, yes, when my husband vacuums, he never used to. He always worked overseas. So when he's gone for 36 days, when he come home, he's only home for 24. So the first couple of days, he's got jet lag. Then he's doing his thing, but it was always me. What do you want for supper, honey? What do you want? Keep the house clean, everything. And I actually enjoyed it. Like, I do enjoy it. But I've also worked and grandchildren and kids. So I'm just finding that I don't really want to share my space now that he retired 3 years ago. Because when he did retire, he got into making sourdough bread. And then, even though I'd given some tips to him, which I thought was okay, then he started telling me how to cook. He reorganized my kitchen. He threw some of my stuff out.
Oh, that's cardinal sin. Yeah.
And I'm thinking, when it was his, and then we'd say, like, he just baked bread. And then he'd say, well, what was for supper? Like you. And I'd jump up and make whatever someone wanted. And lots of times he'd say, I don't care. Whatever you make is just great. You know, he's never picky man. But if I'd say, oh, I don't feel like cooking, he'd say, well, I guess we'll just have oatmeal. Because he can make oatmeal. We have oatmeal for supper quite often. And that's like up until now.
Oh, no.
So, but I stopped eating his bread because I have a gluten intolerance. So I pick at his bread because it always was very good. He's very, very good at his bread. But then I'd start itching. And then my face would blow up red because of the intolerance. And then he'd feel bad. So, of course, he stopped baking it because he doesn't want me sick. But now he's collecting recipes. So yesterday, I was busy. I left for work at 8 in the morning. I got home about 4:30. I had been all the way from West Kelowna to Armstrong and back all over. So I was busy. He asked if he could make dinner. So I said, sure, you can make dinner. I don't mind you making dinner, but you're not taking over my kitchen every day. And don't throw my stuff out because I will be a powder. Don't touch my stuff.
Uh-huh.
So you can make supper. So he went through the list of what he wanted to make. Can you have this? I can have everything. Well, I'll tell you, when I came home last night, although I had no time for myself, I was pretty proud of him. I'm very proud of him and excited. He made some sort of kind of like a hamburger patty with onions baked inside, then mashed potatoes on top, covered in a tomato sauce and baked with cheese. I don't think it was good for the calorie count, but wow, was it amazing. It tasted great.
Awesome, yeah.
And I'm very proud of myself. I did not tell him he could have done something else.
That is very good. That
So he
is
did a
very
fabulous job. And I said, just share the kitchen with me.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, and we're good. Absolutely. Because, I mean, you love cooking. And I used to think I did, and I don't mind doing it once in a while. But I've been cooking since I was 8 years old, and I'm done. Like, I don't want to be responsible for every meal that we eat. And if I am, well, somebody's going to get hurt, and it's probably not going to be me.
See, and I think I'm just used to being in control, especially with him working overseas. So it was me that always protected the house. I was the house person.
Mm-hmm.
And when he gets in there, I'm like, hey, don't be kicking me out of my stuff here. But I'm learning for retirement, he needs to be able to do something.
Yeah, of course.
And I need to be able to let go of some of the strings.
That's a very good plan.
Well, I think we're going to survive this retirement.
Well, hey, if it's a culture shock, right? When they first are in your space 24/7, at first I thought, I don't know if we can live through this. Like, if he asks me one more question, or if he doesn't get out of my face right now, bad's going to happen, because it's really a real culture shock. And I wonder sometimes how many women experience the same thing, because, you're used to having your own space, and all of a sudden here's this human.
Well, and he's never been home. He's been all over the world for months at a time.
Yeah.
So it's different for him.
Oh, for sure. But then it's like, it's not totally different, because he's with, like-minded people that are working the same jobs. And that was the same with Ed. He'd be out in camp,
yes,
working or logging and stuff, but they're with people all the time, where we're not, right? We're with our kids, yes, but that's different. And God, I'm going to hurt this guy if he doesn't get out of my face pretty quick.
Well, but the thing is, your husband is amazing. I have to comment on your chicken coop.
Well, now my chicken coop is pretty cute, I have to say.
You know what? I think I could sell that as a B&B because that is amazing. Like, I wouldn't want a chicken to poop in there.
No, you put shavings down so that it's easy to clean. Yeah.
But that's amazing.
I know it is. It really is a cute little chicken house. And years ago, we went, it wasn't very long after we'd first gotten together, maybe, I don't know, 79, 80, something like that. We went down to a trade show in Abbotsford, and we saw these wood miser band mills. And at the time, I said to him, oh, Ed, you should have one of those. Then we could make our own lumber. And of course, he's a logger, right? Well, he exploded. No, he didn't want no part of a sawmill, because he had been overworked as a child in a bloody sawmill. So he had bad memories of a sawmill. Well, here a few years ago, he goes and buys, it was first secondhand thing he ever bought, I think. No, that's not true. But anyway, a secondhand wood miser, and he made every stick that's in that chicken house in his little mill. He's so proud of himself, and he should be, because it's a beautiful job. It really is. And he loves that little band mill, and he says, I can't believe I didn't always have one of these. And I go, oh, duh. Me either. But anyway, so he's having fun in the sawmill. And there's something about making your own material,
Mm-hmm.
It's great satisfaction out of it, and he should, because he's doing it. He did that chicken house under protest, I got to tell you, but he's doing a fine job.
You did a great job. But that's the thing with you. He's kind of more at home, so he's a little more retired. He'll never retire, I know.
No.
But I mean, that's the change with all of us. Like, we're all changing. And myself, like, since I started this online business, I always had a dream that I would retire at 55. But that's a dream. You don't get your pension really until you're 65. Well, now I'm able to retire and work online, and I'm only 56.
Yeah.
So I actually did pretty good.
Oh, Hey, you know,
And
sir.
you're busier with your quilting and your chickens and
Yeah. Well, I used to train horses, and that was a big job, like, and busy. But the quilting thing was a lot of fun. And it's funny how we evolve throughout our lives, because I as a child, I had won a Raoul quilt at a raffle for a school thing or something. And my grandmother had made quilts. So I loved that quilt. It was just the best quilt ever. And I told myself then, I think I was about 9, someday I'm going to make quilts. Well, I did. But I'm tired of it now. And it's not that I don't appreciate them or love them. I do. But this is the seasons of my life. It seems like as soon as I get something relatively accomplished, I'm on to the next thing, you know?
just like the challenge
I don't really know.
or the learning, maybe you like the different types of
Oh, I am a learning junkie. There's no question of that. Yeah. Because like right now, the more things that I learn how to do within this business that we're doing, I mean, it's like somebody gives me a shot of adrenaline. It's just the biggest high ever, you know? So who knows? I don't know.
I know you've helped me lots because, and your granddaughter too. Like, I'm challenged.
No, we all are. We help each other though, because yeah. And isn't it funny? Because you're way up, farther up that ladder than me. But isn't it funny that I've never been good with numbers, nor do I want to be. You are the maestro. So we get
always love numbers.
Yeah, and we get to help each other. You know, it's like, yeah, I don't know, it works.
It does. I know my biggest challenge, I put together I think there's 10 or 11 pieces and put together a video for our team. It took me a lot longer than the average person, but you know what? I did it.
You did do it.
Myself.
Doesn't it feel so cool? I mean, it just, yeah, I know. I agree. Well, my dear, we've blabbed each other's ear off, I guess.
Yes, I have work to do today.
Have you?
Yes.
Good girl. What are you doing?
I have to go, and it's not a big job, but I have to go pick up art supplies for my grandchildren.
Of course you do. That's a very important job. I have to pick my granddaughter up. I know. I have to pick her up tomorrow because she has to come and check her chickens.
Perfect.
I know. There you go. And they are the dirtiest little devils. I've only had them since last Monday evening. And I have gone through a dozen eggs, boiling a dozen eggs for those little things. And they eat a big container, and there's only 11 of them. A big container of food every day. Now, I grant you, they waste. But still, they don't waste. They eat more than they waste.
And they're growing pretty good?
Oh, yeah. Adra came on the weekend, and she said, "Oh, Grandma, I thought they wouldn't have grown." She said, well, of course, they've got these little pokey tail feathers. They're starting to look scruffy already, like they do when they get into teenage years, right? So, yeah. Anyway, it's pretty fun. I'll keep you all posted every now and again.
Perfect.
So that's all for today.
You have a great week, Vicki. I'll talk to you later. Thanks, everybody.
You too. Bye, guys.